All right, so I want to make sure that we're progressing.
Good
Obviously,
morning.
I'm not feeling
all right.
best,
What I'm going to do today,
and I'm going to be out for one more day, so I just want to make sure that we're doing what we have to do to keep going. So if you were in geometry this year, you would have learned about
what we are really
special
doing
right
is
triangles,
solving
right?
quadratic
So obviously,
equations.
being that we're not necessarily in that situation right now, I'm going to teach you
this
little bits so that you understand how to do it.
You can kind of
feel a
just
little bit
go
more
right ahead
confident
and
when
get
it
right
comes to
it.
geometry.
What we have to remember,
so special right triangles is a right triangle with the angle measure of 30,
factors. We're looking for
60,
factors that will multiply
90.
to this number.
All right, I'm going to actually make it a little bit less thick.
And we'll
or
add
45
to this number.
45.
So when I'm looking at what multiples
90,
are
on
for
degrees.
7, this is actually an
They're
easy
special
one.
because their
The
sides
multiples
follow
of 7, we already know, are going to be
so they follow a
1
pattern,
times
which is
7.
important for our situation
There
right
are
now
no
because we're
other
going to have some information
multiples,
down
no
here
other factors
that's going to
that go
help
into
us,
7
all right?
equally.
So if we
come
look
out
at
of
our
7,
30, 60,
that'll make us
90
go
degree
to 7 when
triangle
we
right here on the
multiply.
side,
So
what
normally
we
what I
have
like to do
is
is
some
box
rules,
off.
so to speak. We're going to go ahead and we're going to
multiples, but I'm going to
label
box that off
our
because we're going
short
to use
side.
that. The good thing about this
short
is that I
leg,
know that
we'll
if I
call it.
add 1 plus 7,
Our
I'm
long
going to get
leg.
8. So we're going to go ahead and structure the answer for
And
this.
of course, our hypotenuse.
Normally, we would set up 2 sets
As we go
of
forward, I'm just going to do
this.
SL, LL, and H for those
B
lengths.
here, the A term.
But for right now, I want to make sure you guys get those
two
down.
of them, so we're going to split
Now
that
I'm just
up
going
and
to erase
share
this
it with
information
both
real quick just so I can go ahead and do some examples for you guys.
And then we're going to go ahead and put in our
examples are going to help you
1
kind of
times 7 are
visualize
just our 1 and our 7.
what it is
because
that
our
we need
middle
to
term,
work
our
on
B
right
term
here.
is positive.
So say for
and
example,
our C term is positive.
that
Both
x
of these numbers are
equals
going to
5.
be positive as well.
Right? In this case, if x
All right?
equals 5,
this
that means
works,
that
and I'm
this
going to
would
show you
equal
real quick
5
why this works.
radical 3.
If
And
we
this
FOIL
here, our
or double
hypotenuse is always 2
distribute,
times the short leg, so 2
does give you a
times
B
x is going to
squared.
give us 10.
I'm going to do it again.
What you need to know, as you see down here,
7B.
30-degree angle is always opposite the short side,
B,
so our short leg
the
or
outside
short
term
side is
plus
always
7.
opposite to 30 degrees.
When we combine our like terms,
our
in this box,
60-degree
it brings us
angle
back
is
to
always
what we started
opposite
with.
the long leg or long side.
Which means
And then, of course, as you know before,
so if you ever need to know how to go
our
back and
right
check your work,
triangle,
that
our
is the
right
way that you
angle is
check your
always
work.
opposite
We're
of
gonna
our
move on to number
hypotenuse,
2.
just so that you know. Let's go
All right,
over
let's
here and take
focus
a look.
on
Say,
this-
for
this one
example,
over
again,
here.
we used 5.
Going forward, like we did over here, we need to make sure we're
Right?
multiplying
Because
to
these
this
are isosceles,
C term. So I'm just going to go
both
ahead and label this
and this
time.
angle are the same.
We have
our
our
sides
A
are the same,
term,
rather. So that
our
means
B
x would equal
term,
5 for both.
and our C term.
And that
when we
means
get
that
into
this right
harder
here would be
factoring
pretty
or harder quadratics,
easy for us to find out 5
formula and things like that.
radical 2.
These
right?
numbers, you'll
Pretty
have
simple.
probably a number in front.
All of these numbers I
more or
pulled,
less,
they're
and you'll be able to
examples,
plug
so they're
that
not
in and get
anything
an
that we're going to
answer.
see.
But right now,
I
this makes it a
decided to
little
use that as an
easier.
example.
Essentially,
Let's go
what
ahead
I
and
didn't
scroll
explain
down and
over
see
here
to
is
find
that
all the
when we
missing
are
side lanes.
getting
So,
factors, we can
our
actually solve
short
for what
leg
are
we're gonna
called the
label.
zeros or the
Our long
solutions of
leg
the
we're gonna label.
quadratics. So
And
when
our
I go through
hypotenuse we're
this,
gonna
I'm going to
label.
go ahead and do the entire
Right?
thing to show
Being
you what
that
that would look
all
like if we
of what
actually
we
solve
do
for it.
depends
So
on
I'm going
the
to go
short
ahead and
leg.
say to myself, I need to
According
find the
to
factors
above,
of 10.
our long leg
I'm gonna bring
is
down
always going to be
and look for
x
factors of
radical
10.
3. So in this
All right?
case, our
So the
short leg
factors
is
of 10 I
2.
know are 1 and 10.
So our long leg is going to be
The other factors are 2
2,
and 5. And I believe
radical
that's it. There's no
3.
other factors that would give me the
Right?
10, multiplying
Our
to 10.
short leg is also
I
going
have
to
to
be
ask
double
myself
our
what factors are
hypotenuse,
going
or
to get
2
me
times
to
that. So 2
11 or
times
negative
2 is
11.
4.
And I know that
So
it's
that
going
right
to be
there is
just
going to
1
be our
and 10.
measurements. 2 radical 3 is our
Some
long leg.
combination of both.
2 was a
So I'm
short
going
leg
to go
which
ahead
was
and move
given
this
to
down and
us,
set up my
and our
parentheses because
hypotenuse
we're going
is
to
4.
start structuring
We're going to
our
move over
final
to
answer.
2 to try to mess with that.
I'm going to add in our A term.
You already
We're
know
split
that
up
this
into
and
2.
this are going to be the
So we have
same,
an
which
N
means
here,
that if this leg is
we have an
5,
N there.
this leg will be 5.
And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to plop
scroll up
in
to see
my 1 and
our
my
45,
10.
45
If I needed
says that our
to
hypotenuse is
multiply
always going to be
or
x
multiply to a
2.
positive and
So
add up
therefore,
to a negative,
if we already know that
we
our
already
x
know
is
that when
5,
we multiply
our
two
answer
negatives,
here is
it
going to
gives
be
us a
5
positive. So both of
radical
our
2.
answers inside of here are
Fairly
going to
simple
be
with that.
negative.
These are rules that we're going to live by.
If you were to go ahead and
as
do
we
our
get going,
foiling here,
right?
so if you foil
So let's
this here,
label our sides. Obviously,
which
we have
I
our
want you to
hypotenuse
pause the
here.
video and
We have
foil
side 1
to see if
and
you
side
actually
2.
got
We're
the
going to
answer that
label
I
it because
got
both
before
of
I
these
go
sides
ahead
are
and
going to be
give
the
you
same.
the final answer.
Our
that you were
hypotenuse
looking
tells us that
for,
we have
say,
7
the
radical
zeros
2.
of
If you
this
scroll back
quadratic.
up to our 45, 45,
All right, so if you got
it's
this,
x radical
and
2.
this is
So
how
this
you
should
did
be
it,
fairly
and this is
easy.
what you wind up with, and you
But
wind
to
up
show
doing
this
it the right way.
mathematically,
If we were trying to
go ahead
find
and
the
do 7
zeros
radical
of
2
this, right,
and
you would
realize
take
that I can
your
actually
factors
divide
that you've made,
by
and
radical
essentially
2
you're
in
going
order
to
for us
set
to
them
cancel
equal
it out
to
to get our
0
side
and
length. So our
solve.
side length for
So
1 is 7.
all you really
and our
have
side
to do
length
is
for the
either
other one is also
change
going to
the
be
value
7.
within the parentheses or
All right?
actually
So
solve
our
for it. So
hypotenuse is
let's
7
do n
radical
minus
2.
1 is equal to
Side
0.
1 is 7, side 2
And
is
n
7.
minus 10 is equal
Take a
to
look
0.
over at 4.
I know that with this
As you can
one-step
see,
equation,
like I
I'm
said
just going to
before,
move
our
this
short
over.
leg is always going to be opposite
And now
our
my n is
30
equal to
degrees,
1.
so our short
And over
leg,
here, same thing.
our long leg, and then of course
My
our
n would
hypotenuse.
be equal to 10.
Go ahead and erase this.
These
in
would
here.
be the zeros or the
So
solutions
this
of
tells
this
us right now if
particular
our short leg
quadratic,
or if rather if our long leg is 6 radical 3. Let's do some math.
So if they ever ask you for the zeros or the
radical
solutions of a
3
quadratic, they're looking
divided
for
by
you to give
radical
something
3
like this.
cancels
And
out,
as we
which
get into
means
more
our short
complex
leg is
ones,
going
they're
to
going to be sometimes
6.
have radicals.
Remember that our
Sometimes they
short
will
leg
be
determines
decimals and
what everything
fractions, and we'll
else
get
is.
into
So
that
if we
when
have
we
the
get into the
6 here,
quadratic
the 6
equation.
actually will help us
I'm
determine
going to
our
give
short
you a
leg even
couple
without
more
doing algebra
examples
but just
in
in
a little
case.
bit of
Then
some
of
harder
course
factoring, and then we're going
according
to learn
to
about
our
the
rule up
factoring
here,
for the AC method
our
when we have
long leg is always 2
a
times the short leg. So 6 times
leading
2 is going to
coefficient
be
that is greater
12.
than
So our
1.
answers
All
are
right,
going to
good
be the
job,
6
gentlemen.
radical 3 for our long leg,